Multiple Sclerosis Today. This is a dedicated audio channel inspired by the comprehensive book Living with Multiple Sclerosis, a guide for patients, families, and caregivers. This podcast is designed for anyone touched by multiple sclerosis, patients, families, caregivers, and healthcare professionals, offering clear, compassionate, and actionable guidance for every stage of your MS journey. Now, here's your host of the Multiple Sclerosis Today podcast, Andres Ortiz.
Hey, welcome, and thank you for joining us again at Multiple Sclerosis Today, and I'm really glad you're here. Living with multiple sclerosis can feel overwhelming, and sometimes the fatigue, the uncertainty, the ups and downs, you know what? It can be a lot. But there's a community of people with MS that prove day after day that they are warriors, and they find ways to take control, to live well, and to speak up for what they need. You know, for yourself, for your loved ones, or anyone else curious about MS, today we're talking about what it means to be a true MS warrior, learning simple ways to stand up for yourself every day. So whether MS is new to you or you've been on this journey for a while, this show is packed with real-life stories and easy advice and lots of encouragement. Understanding what MS warriors face every day. That's the first part. So let's start by making sure that we understand what living with MS looks like. MS stands for multiple sclerosis, a disease that affects your brain and your nerves. People experience things like tiredness, trouble walking, blurred vision, or even brain fog. That's where it's hard to think clearly, and sometimes there are days that are really tough. But what makes someone with MS a warrior isn't just how strong they are, it's how they keep going, finding ways to adjust and discover new ways to live their best life. Becoming an MS warrior starts with taking care of yourself. MS can be unpredictable, but cultivating habits that support your body and your mind helps you face those challenges with strength. Movement is one of the most powerful tools that we have to fight fatigue, improve your balance, and maintain muscle mass. Moving your body regularly can keep your muscles and joints strong, even ease some of the symptoms. Move your body because every little bit helps. It's easy to think exercise means running a race. But for people with MS, even small movements make a big difference. It's a big deal. So try gentle stretches before getting out of bed. Walk outdoors for 5 minutes or so. Just enjoy the fresh air. Splash in a pool or dance to your favorite song in the living room. Give you an example. Cheryl, after her MS diagnosis, didn't let that stop her. She is an amazing woman who has completed over 60 marathons all around the world. Now, this doesn't mean that you start running a marathon right away, but it can be as simple as stretching, walking, or even yoga. You see, despite her MS, she began slowly by building endurance and listening carefully to her body's signals. She adjusted her training based on how she felt that day and used specialized shoes to protect her joints. Cheryl is a great example of how consistent adaptive exercise can keep you active and engaged. Now, another thing we want to look at is nutrition, because what you eat can influence how you feel day to day. Many MS warriors find that eating whole foods like colorful vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats help manage the inflammation and the energy levels. So while there's no one-size-fits-all MS diet, being mindful about nutrition, and sometimes you may want to consult with a dietitian, can help reduce those flare-ups and improve the overall wellness of the individual with MS. You see, eating foods that can lift you up. There's no special MS diet that works for everyone, but paying attention to the foods and talking to your dietitian can help you choose what works best for you. Everyone's different. Everyone's body chemistry is different. The other thing that we want to do, rest and fatigue. MS related fatigue isn't ordinary tiredness. It can be overwhelming and suddenly it can happen. So, learning to pace yourself is crucial. This means balancing activity with planned rest points, knowing when to say no to extra commitments, and creating schedules that prevents you from burning out. Plan your breaks into your day. Don't wait until you're exhausted to have a break. Say no to extra tasks if you're already tired. Use a planner or your phone app, to remind you when you need to rest. For example, Terry shares how she structures her day with breaks and listens to her body's signals. Resting before she feels exhausted is key. This approach lets her stay productive and energized and engaged with what's going on every day. Mental health and positivity play a big step. Taking care of your mind is as important as your body. Facing chronic illness can bring feelings of frustration or sadness, so it's important to stay kind to yourself. Set small goals like walking to the mailbox tomorrow or calling a friend today. Celebrate each win, no matter how small it may seem. Talk to a counselor or join a support group if you need to. Terry is a founder of Talks with MS. Not only advocates for physical health, but also encourages embracing your identity and being proud of your journey of disability. The power of community. Now, you're not alone. Connecting with others who truly understand MS can provide emotional support and shared knowledge. Whether it's an online group or a local meetups, hearing other people's stories and sharing your own can lift the spirits and reinforce your warrior mindset. No one should feel alone with MS. Meeting others who get it can be a lifeline. Join an online group or look for a local MS meetups. Share your stories and listen to others. Making new friends and finding mentors and encouraging one another is key. When you connect, you build strength, gain ideas, and know that you're truly part of a team. Step 2, becoming your own best advocate. Advocacy and getting what you need is important. Now let's dive into the advocacy and the way you speak up for yourself. Now, if you need to get care, support, and respect that you deserve, being a self-advocate means understanding what you need and effectively communicating that to others. That's key. Advocating with healthcare providers. Preparation. Well, you need to write down your symptoms and your questions before the appointment. This helps you cover everything without forgetting important points. When you're nervous or you're tired, it's okay to bring a family member with you as well or a friend for support. That's why you want to write things down. With the MS, you can forget some stuff. MS can affect your daily life, not just in the physical symptoms, but also in things like the mental fog, or the brain fog, as we call it, the emotional struggles. For example, Kayla is an advocate and a runner, and she openly talks about brain fog and how she describes it as challenges that helped her neurologist adjust her treatment plan for better results. So ask questions. Don't hesitate to ask your doctor if for him to explain, he or she to explain the terms. If you don't understand something, you want them to explain it, and this way you have a good understanding of what's happening. Your doctor is your partner, so you want to be able to be really clear and you don't want to miss anything. Now, if you don't like what you've heard, it's okay to get a second opinion. Okay, that's your prerogative. You want to make sure that you understand everything. It's perfectly okay to seek another doctor's opinion. MS is complex, and having a neurologist who listens and works with you is essential. Advocating in the workplace. Now, if many of you are still working, you need to know your rights. There is something called the Americans with Disability Act, the ADA, and that protects your rights to reasonable accommodations like flexible hours or ergonomic workspaces. Learning your rights empowers you to ask for what you need confidently to be able to do your job. Communicate the needs clearly. If fatigue or mobility challenges affect your work, be honest with your employer. Prepare what you want to say beforehand. So perhaps there's something like, well, because of my MS, sometimes I need to start my day later or take short breaks during work. See if that will be able to work with your employer. Practice makes perfect. So, role playing the conversation with trusted friends and associates can help you not be as anxious about those types of discussions. Now, you also have advocating for yourself in daily life and relationships, sharing your journeys, being open with your friends and family about your MS symptoms helps others support you better. For example, Carol, an MS advocate, talks about how explaining her limitations clearly helped her maintain strong relationships and reduce misunderstandings. Setting boundaries. Don't be afraid to say, hey, when your body needs to rest, you need to rest. So when activities feel overwhelming, clear the boundaries, clear boundaries protect you and protect your health and your energy. Real life examples of advocacy. Don't forget, Kayla is an MS warrior who uses running as a way to stay strong. She openly shares about her brain fog and how advocating for herself with her doctors helped her get the treatment that improved her focus and her energy. She's a great example of someone who takes charge of their health. Carol is another one, a Paralympic athlete who lives fully with MS by advocating for what she needs, whether it's requesting help or sharing her story to inspire others. Her openness about limits and needs helps those around her understand and support her. Terry is another one. Terry emphasizes pride and self advocacy by educating others about MS and encouraging people to embrace their journey. She speaks out not just for herself, but to help others find their voice. That's real key. So, advocating for yourself as an MS warrior means learning, speaking honestly, asking for what you deserve from doctors, employers, friends, and family. It's a powerful skill that can transform your quality of life. So, we want to take some questions that we have from our listeners. And some of the questions that we have here are some things that go through every day. One question from a listener says, what should I do when people don't understand MS? Well, talk to them. Share how MS makes you feel, use simple words, and invite them to ask questions. Here's another question from a viewer. How can kids help their parents with MS? Number one, give hugs, lots of hugs. Help with chores. Remember that even small things make a big difference. Here's another question. What do I say when people suggest miracle cures? Well, you thank them for caring, but explain that MS is different for everyone and that the advice from the doctors and your healthcare team is the safest. Living boldly and confidence for MS warriors, that's the most important. We're going to live boldly. So let's talk about confidence. MS warriors learn to be strong by believing in themselves. Be proud of your journey. Every step matters. Let your story inspire others. Remember, you're more than your illness. You're smart, you're brave, you're caring. Find joy in hobbies, in family, in fun. Focus on what you can do, not just what's hard. Okay? The other thing you want to be able to do is have an action plan. So try these steps today. Make one small healthy choice. Maybe it's stretching, maybe eating a vegetable, or journaling your feelings. For the caregivers, ask what kind of help is wanted. Sometimes listening is the best. For family or friends, invite your loved ones to do fun things with you. And let them understand it's okay when you need to say no. Your teamwork lifts everyone up. Okay? And then understand that there are resources available to you. Remember, there is so much support out there. The National MS Society offers free programs and education. You also have your local groups that can help you find friends, doctors, and so much more. There are websites and apps that can help you track your symptoms and your progress. You are never alone in this journey. From hospital rooms to work meetings to family dinners, you have the power as an MS warrior to be proud, speak up, and ask for what you need. Remember, becoming an MS warrior means showing up for yourself, no matter what. It's about caring for your body, your mind, and standing up for what you need every day. You're part of a community that understands and supports you. So remember, your journey with MS is unique. Own it, advocate for yourself, and live boldly. Thank you for listening to this episode of Multiple Sclerosis Today. And if you found this episode helpful, please share it with someone who might need it. If you feel that this podcast has been beneficial to you and your loved ones in explaining your MS journey, please hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you can get automatic updates and notifications on upcoming podcasts. And if you'd like me to cover other topics involving multiple sclerosis, just drop me a request at multiplesclerosistoday@gmail.com. Now, it's all one word, multiplesclerosistoday@gmail.com. Thank you for joining us today. I look forward to seeing you the next time on Multiple Sclerosis Today. And remember, you are more than your MS and you're stronger than you think. Have a great day. Take care.
Living with multiple sclerosis isn't just a diagnosis, it's a daily journey. For patients and loved ones, every new day can bring new challenges. But you're not alone. The latest insights from the MS community point to hope, resilience, and the power of expert guidance. Now discover the guide built for your journey. This book answers tough questions, dispels myths, and gives practical advice for daily living. So don't wait. Get your copy today for yourself or for someone that you care about. Start living empowered with MS. This is available in ebook, paperback, and hardcover at Amazon.com.